sunrise, chanting, dancing to his name. Hari Bo, Hari Bo. He would wake up everyone, rise and rejoice to the name. Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Mukunda Madhava, Govinda Hari, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all you have to do is take to the sweet chanting of his name. Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Every day the sun will rise, and every day the sun will set. Hari Bo, Hari Bo. What's the value of your life if devotion you don't get? Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Take the name into your heart, take it with you when you're born. Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all you have to do is take to the sweet chanting of his name. Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Yashamati Nandana, Brajapadanagara. Hari Bo.
Rumi says, down.
Wrong music. That's for dancing. Oh man.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
OGEbeats.com.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, go Ranga. Krishna. All right, you can turn your microphones on. We'll do some japa here. Shri Krishna, Caitanya, Jesus, Prabhupada, Jesus, Prabhupada, Jesus,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Jesus, Prabhupada, Jesus,
Jesus,
Prabhupada,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Jesus, Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Jesus,
Jesus,
Krishna Krishna,
Jesus,
Hare
Jesus, Shri Prabhupada.
Jesus,
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 Jesus, Shri Prabhupada. Wow. Jesus, Shri Prabhupada.
Jesus, Shiva Jesus, Shiva
Jesus, Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Shiva
Wow.
Prabhupada, Jesus,
Hari.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Rama, Rama,
Hare
Jesus,
Shri Advaita
Shiva Prabhupada.
Nityananda,
Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare
Shri
Krishna.
Advaita,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama
Shri
Hare
Advaita,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Shri Advaita Nityananda.
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna Krishna.
Rama Hare
Shri
Hare Rama.
Advaita,
Hare
Shri
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Shri
Hare
Advaita
Hare Rama,
Nityana.
Hare Rama,
Shri
Rama
Advaita
Rama, Hare
Nityana.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Shri Advaita Nityananda.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Hare
Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaura
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Chaitanya.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Nityananda, Nityananda,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna,
Nityananda,
Hare
Nityananda, Gaura Chandra, Gaura. Nityananda, 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 Gauranga, Gauranga. Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaura Chandra, Chandra. Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaura Chandra, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaura Chandra, Gaura.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaura Chandra, Gaura Chandra.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaura Chandra,
Krishna,
Gaura.
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Chaitanya. Shri Krishna
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Chaitanya.
Krishna.
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Chaitanya.
Krishna
Shri
Krishna, Hare Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna.
Krishna Chaitanya.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Chaitanya.
Hare Krishna, Chaitanya.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna
Shri Krishna
Chaitanya.
Chaitanya.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri
Oh,
Krishna Chaitanya. Oh, my
Hare
Lord,
Krishna,
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Chaitanya.
Krishna
Shri
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Chaitanya.
Hare
Krishna
Shri
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Rama Rama, Hare
Chaitanya.
Hare.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Rama
Shri
Rama,
Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Chaitanya,
Krishna.
Hare Hare, Shri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Rama Hare
Chaitanya,
Rama, Rama Rama,
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna Chaitanya.
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Chaitanya,
Hare
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Shri Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya,
Krishna,
Krishna
Shri
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya,
Hare.
Shri
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Chaitanya.
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Ram Ram,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama, Rama
Ram
Rama, Hare Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare, Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hari Krishna,
Hare
Hari
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hari Hari, Hari
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hari
Krishna.
Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Krishna.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna.
Yes. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama.
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Rama,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
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 Hare
Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna.
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama.
Hare, Rama, 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 Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Rama, Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Oh,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Ah,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna.
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Rama.
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama.
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama.
Rama, Rama.
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna.
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Krishna. Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna.
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama.
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna.
Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama.
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama.
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama,
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 Hare
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 Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna Krishna,
Rama,
Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama.
Krishna,
Rama Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
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 Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama.
Rama, Rama, Hari Hari,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hari
Hare
Hari
Rama,
Hari
Rama
Rama Hari
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Rama Rama Hari Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hari 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 Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hari Hari
Rama
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna,
Hari
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Hari
Rama,
Hari Hari Rama 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 Hari
Hare
Hari Hari
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hari 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 Rama
Hare
Hari
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama
Hare
Hari Hari
Krishna,
Hari
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hari Hari
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hari
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Hari
Rama,
Rama
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 Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Hari
Krishna,
Hari Hari Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hari
Krishna,
Hari Hari
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hari
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Rama Hari
Hare
Hari Hari
Hare,
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari
Krishna, Krishna,
Hari
Hare
Ram Hari
Hare,
Rama 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 Hari Hari Hari
Rama,
Krishna Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hari Hari Hari
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hari
Rama,
Rama,
Hari
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hari
Krishna
Hari Hari
Krishna,
Rama Hari Rama
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama Hari
Krishna,
Hari Hari
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Rama,
Krishna Hari
Rama,
Hari
Hare Hare, Krishna,
Hari
Krishna.
Hare
Rama Hari
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
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 Rama
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Hari
Krishna,
Hari
Hare,
Hari Krishna Hari Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Hare
Krishna,
Hari Hari
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hari
Krishna
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama Rama Hari Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hari
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare,
Krishna
Rama,
Hari
Hare
Hari
Rama,
Hari
Rama,
Rama Hari Rama Rama
Hare
Rama Hari
Krishna,
Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna,
Krishna Hari
Hare
Krishna,
Hari
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hari
Krishna
Hari
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama,
Hari
Rama
Hari
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hari
Hare,
Rama Hari Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama Hari
Krishna.
Hari
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ah,
Hare
Nityananda Nityananda
Rama,
Gauranga Gauranga Nityananda Nityananda
Nityananda,
Gauranga
Nityananda, Sri
Shri
Krishna,
Advaita Nityananda Gauranga
Nityananda,
Gauranga
Nityananda.
Shri
Hare
Advaita
Krishna, Hare
Nityananda Gauranga
Nityananda,
Gauranga
Nityananda,
Hare
Shri
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Advaita
Krishna Krishna,
Nityananda
Nityananda,
Hare Rama, Hare
Sri
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare
Shri Advaita
Hare
Nityananda
Krishna, Hare
Gauranga
Krishna,
Gauranga
Krishna
Shri
Krishna,
Advaita Nityananda Gauranga Gauranga Shri Advaita Nityananda
Nityananda, Gauranga,
Gauranga
Gauranga,
Gauranga Shri
Shri
Advaita
Advaita, Nityananda,
Nityananda Gauranga
Gauranga,
Gauranga
Gauranga,
Shri
Hare
Advaita
Krishna,
Advaita,
Hare Krishna.
Nityananda Gauranga
Gauranga,
Shri
Gauranga,
Advaita
Shri Advaita,
Nityananda
Gauranga,
Hare
Gauranga
Krishna,
Gauranga,
Hare
Gauranga
Krishna, Krishna,
Shri
Krishna.
Advaita Nityananda
Nityananda,
Gauranga
Hare
Gauranga,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama,
Gauranga,
Hare
Shri Advaita,
Shri Advaita Nityananda
Gauranga, Gauranga, Hare
Gauranga
Krishna,
Hare
Shri
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Advaita
Krishna, Krishna.
Nityananda
Nityananda,
Gauranga
Nityananda,
Gauranga Gauranga
Hare Rama, Hare
Nimai
Rama,
Nimai
Rama, Rama, Hare
Nimai
Hare Rama,
Vishwambara
Hare Rama, Rama
Vishwambara
Rama, Hare
Nimai Nimai
Hare
Vishwambara Vishwambara Nimai Nimai Vishwambara Vishwambara Gauranga
Hare
Gauranga
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Gaurachandra
Krishna, Krishna.
Gaurachandra
Hare
Shri
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama.
Chaitanya Shri Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya Shri Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Chaitanya
Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna
Krishna.
Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Chaitanya, Shri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna
Hare Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna
Shri
Chaitanya
Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Hare
Shri
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Radha Radha Radha
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Radha Radhe Radhe
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Radhe
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Radhe
Hare.
Radhe
Hare
Radhe
Hare
Radha
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Radha, Hare Radha,
Radha
Radha.
Krishna Krishna Hare
Radha,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Radha,
Rama Rama Hare Hare Hare
Radha,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Hare
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Hare Hare. Radhe Radhe.
Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Rama
Hare Krishna.
Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama
Radha
Hare
Govinda.
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna. Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Hare Hare Rama
Krishna,
Shri
Krishna,
Balaram Nityananda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Radha, Radha, Radha,
Shri Balaram Nityananda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Radha, Radha,
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Radha,
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna
Rama. Hare
Krishna
Rama.
Hare Hare
Rama Rama. Hare Hare.
Oh,
Hare Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama.
Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna.
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare Rama Hare
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 Krishna
Rama. Hare
Hare
Rama.
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna.
Rama
Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare
Rama
Hare.
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare Rama
Hare Krishna.
Rama Rama Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama.
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama. Rama Rama.
Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Rama
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Rama.
Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama.
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Rama
Krishna,
Rama Rama
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama.
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama
Rama Rama
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Rama. Hare Rama.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare.
Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hari
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hari
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari.
Krishna.
Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari. Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hari
Hare
Hari.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hari
Krishna,
Hari.
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hari.
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hari
Hare,
Hari. Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hari.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hari. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hari.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Hare Hari.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna,
Jaya
Hare
Jaya
Krishna.
Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Shri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gora Bhakta
Jaya Jaya Shri
Jaya
Chaitanya,
Shri
Jaya
Chaitanya,
Nityananda,
Jaya Nityananda,
Jaya Shri
Jaya
Advaita
Sri
Chandra,
Advaita
Jaya
Chandra,
Gaura
Jaya
Bhakta
Guru
Jaya Jaya
Bhakta.
Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya
Vrinda.
Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta
Jaya Jaya
Jaya
Sri
Jaya Shri
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya,
Jaya
Jaya
Nityananda,
Nityananda,
Jaya Sri Advaita
Jaya Shri
Chandra, Jaya
Advaita
Guru
Chandra,
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya
Hare
Nityananda,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Jaya
Hare,
Advaita Chandra,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Om.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare. Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna
Canto
Krishna.
10, chapter 14, Brahma's prayers to Lord Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Jesus. Text number 1. Lord Brahma said, My dear Lord, you are the only worshipable Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And therefore I offer my humble obeisances and prayers just to please you. Lord Brahma said, "My dear Lord, you are the only worshipable Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And therefore I offer my humble obeisances and prayers just to please you. O son of the king of the cowherds, O son of the king of the cowherds, your transcendental body is dark blue like a new cloud. Your transcendental body is dark blue like a new cloud. Your transcendental body is dark blue like a new cloud. Your garment is brilliant. Your garment is brilliant like lightning. And the beauty of your face, and the beauty of your face, and the beauty of your face. I like that word, face. See? People think just face, direction. What direction are you facing? Face, very important. That's where everything happens at the face. You see the mouth, the nose there, the eyes, the ears, all around that area. See, that's the face of Krishna. See, they perceive that way through the eyes, the tears in the eyes. See, the mouth preaching the vibration. See, up in the head. See, perception, understanding. Yeah, face, very important word, face. And then into other, it leads into other things, face. What direction are you facing? See, you can face the shadow of the Lord. See, most people are facing that. So we say, about face. You ever heard that? And you turn around and you go the other way. And that basically what we're saying. Do an about face, world. See, look at the real face of God, not the twisted face. You know, the dystopian face. See, in the world, it's getting so twisted. When it gets so demonic, they want to even twist nature, the natural face of God on this level. You see, and it gets really weird, and that's why everything, like medicines, for example. When man takes medicine and they start to modify it, all of a sudden it's spoiled. It loses its intrinsic nature, and then it becomes like a toxin and a poison. So that's the pharmaceuticals are like that. They often do this, kind of have this result. If you were to take the natural herbs, like I'm just finding that out myself, just take the natural herbs and in their raw state, and they're so much more effective and they work better for the body than taking these other things. That's why the demons, they push the pharmaceutical companies and they suicide or they kill and murder many of these people that are into nature doctor stuff. They've been, I was wondering why these guys they're dying. These naturopaths. This happened even before the COVID. They just started to being like offed. Like they're just disappearing and dying, suiciding. See? Because that's what this world is. It's very twisted version. That's why ultimately the Lord has to come here to rectify everything. The dark energy gets more powerful than good. The evil starts to overcome the bad. See? So so the good can't bring it back into balance. So the Lord has to come and do that. Just like in that picture, movie Avatar, the good, and it was like the good and the bad, nature against the evils of the world. You know, it was like that kind of thing. And ultimately, that the tree, which represented like Vishnu, had to come and set everything in order again, in balance. It started. Uh, so you see, there has to be usually Vishnu restores the balance in nature, because even like there's creation, and then there's destruction, and then there's the maintenance, and so the Lord has to maintain the balance somehow or other. Now this Lord Chaitanya is a very and Krishna actually too. These are very special incarnations in this world, right? Because not only do they restore the balance, but they give special gifts more than just, you know, get everything balanced in the mode of goodness type thing. You know, that's not really enough to really ultimately satisfy us or the Lord, because ultimately even the living entities will continue looking. Is not satisfying it enough to just be in the mode of goodness. Something inside will move you deeper, and that's why ultimately you go for liberation. And so Lord Chaitanya gave him more than that. He gave this realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Wow. See, and I mean, I can't believe it, man. And what I'm understanding every day from this meeting together, like Amy said there, see, a lot of good stuff comes from that girl. Yeah, she mentioned something. You have to admit, it's always better when we're together. See, Sadhu Sangha, yeah. You know, all these amazing things, these realizations. Remember, to me, that's the goal. Those are the presents. It all comes from this meeting. And that's why the meetings in Vrindavan, simple meetings, they're just always newer and ever fresh. The deeper understanding of the situation, you know, the deeper understanding of God. And so this process is amazing. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Face, like Freddie says there. Yeah, you face the Lord, then you really start to get your threefold miseries start diminishing. So now, when you look at that, so how do you actually face the Lord where you get these miseries diminished? Well, you know, if you face the conclusive truth that's spoken by the Bhagavad Gita 10:10 worshipers, you know, those are the advanced devotees who have the advanced mercy of the Lord, then you're getting a more clear face, you know, factual understanding and image of the Lord. Okay? If you face the speculators, then your miseries maybe there's some diminishing, but it's watered down with the speculation. It doesn't have the same kind of effect. It's like medicine watered down. It's not full strength. Yeah. They do that someday. They water down medicines too, you know. And if you want the full strength, you got to pay more, you notice? And they even do that with food. You know, I notice if you want, say, like yogurt, they do this with yogurt. If you want yogurt in its more natural state, it's more expensive. You check it out. It's more expensive if they don't do anything to it. They know. But when they mess with it, they put the sugars in it and all the little chemicals and all that. It's cheaper. You know what? There's a reason they do that. Because the less intelligent people will go for the price, and they're the ones that, you know. This is the ones that are the less intelligent, the ones that haven't taken shelter of the Supreme Lord, you know. Usually are the ones that go for that kind of stuff. They're more in the mode of ignorance. But the people in the mode of goodness would usually pay more, even though, you know, well, hey, man, it's more natural. It's going to be, see, more intelligence. You know, why put you know, like these people you see on the shelves, you show you how many people are really in the mode of ignorance. When you go in the supermarket, you see the masses, big shelves full of sodas. Unbelievable. Cereals full of all, you go read the labels in these things, all this poison, and they go for it. See, it's just the masses, and so that's a very dangerous position. A lot of those masses are just the Lord wants to help them and can help them first, usually because usually they'd be more open, but there's always problem because people they can't, they're so weakened by this Maya, they can't hold to the path. They're just blown away by the Maya and their controllers. See, especially like the demons, they just grab, just take them away so easily. That's why Jesus said, I make you fishermen of men. We're also fishing. It's always a fishing thing. You didn't know Gohari's a fisherman. We're making fishermen here. See our big boots, we go in the water, See, we don't get wet. We go in the waters of Maya. But a good fisherman, they have the equipment. They have these big boots that go up to their waist. See, they don't get wet. That's our preaching here, Sadhu Sangha is like that. We're going into the material world here with our big boots, and the waters of Maya, and our boots go up to the waist, and we're wading in there, fishing. Hey, anybody want to come out of there? Hey, you Vites, hey, ISKCON, anybody in there? You want to come out? We ain't going in there, but we're fishing. We're throwing a line in there, you see? How about you in a Narayan March group? Anybody in there want to come out? How about you on Facebook Live? Anybody run across these videos? You want to come out? Yeah, here's the bait, man. The truth. Yeah, anybody want to grab onto the line, man? Be pulled out? You got to be pulled out, otherwise we're too weak. That's why even with St. Paul, they started churches. They had to. They couldn't do it alone. Paul couldn't just go preach to one person. They had to start churches. The same thing here. You think people, that's why Prabhupada, even for the Vaidhi level, he had to start. Nobody would be able to survive Maya's onslaughts unless they have some kind of association, getting together and encouraging each other at some level. And you don't think you need encouragement, to manifest this level? This is where Maya takes you seriously, man. You want to go into the actual kingdom of God? Oh, really? Are you going through the narrow gate? When the Lord's manifesting this Sadhu Sangha. See, so we need the assistance and the encouragement, man. You stay in the circle of influence, otherwise, the Lord's Maya, in the form of all kinds of weird things. The demons imitating Brahmins, like in that pastime with Lord Ram and Sita, right? Lakshman, represents the original guru. He said, Lakshman, Sita. Sita represents the budding bhakti of a devotee. It's just sprouting. He says, stay in this circle here. This circle of that's Sadhu Sangha. Stay in this circle. And then the Maya will not trick you and lie to you and cheat you. See, and Ravan, who was actually a demon, that's the hypocrites, that's the religionists, the hypocrisy of religion. Didn't Jesus nail it? He nailed it, man. Called them vipers and snakes, and really, that's religion. And people believe religion is pure devotional service. No, sorry. No. You got to abandon. You got to abandon ISKCON. Yeah, you got to abandon. Just like, Prabhupada started something new. He couldn't even deal with his godbrothers. It wouldn't work. Too many snakes in there. You got to abandon. You want to, you can go, like Sachi likes to go and have kirtan and everything. Yeah, and if you go too far, you'll know it. But you got to abandon your faith in that. You got to abandon your faith. Otherwise, that's the problems people have here. You haven't abandoned your faith in that. You still have faith in the Vaidhi thing. And therefore, that's why you're a little weak. Why don't I feel empowered? Well, because you got to be like Lalita and Johan. See, Janaki, they're totally into this line. They're on board, man. They're on board with this preaching. Not, well, Gore, yeah, great. But Prabhupada said this, and Prabhupada quoting all those things, and nobody will take down my the sayings here, which will actually move all of the Vaides, all of mankind, but they don't take it seriously because nobody sees our sayings, which are more important for people to read. These sayings here, these things that come from Chaitanya Charitamrita, that nobody can quote, that nobody knows because nobody has a relationship with them yet. See, so that's the next phase here, because this has got to be put out. Otherwise, what are we watching on Facebook? Oh yeah, all Radhana's quotes. Yeah, more it just becomes selfless service. More that the Brahman level. They cannot reach where we are without our help. See, but if they see this and they say, oh, they start to give respect to this preaching. Respect to this ecstatic level to see it's really real. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. Now Krishna's getting, now there's a movement. Otherwise, same old, same old. All they can do is make Vaidhi gurus because they're Vaidhi gurus. Vaidhi guru can only make a Vaidhi guru, right? What kind of gurus are we making? Ecstatic devotees. This is where it started. This is revival. That's why, I'm not ashamed. I put the laughing and, hey man, this is where it is. This is where, hey man, you can go and laugh at us and we'll laugh at you. Yeah, we're just because this is the truth. This is the Lord Caitanya was laughing and laughing and crying, and now they laugh at the laughers. Oh, it doesn't matter. He laughed. He continued on crying and laughing, and Nityananda also, and we also. Now, I got the order. Confirmation. It's okay. Encouraged. This is real devotional service, man. This is real, man. This is, the real life. Natural devotees with natural ecstasy, natural love, natural relationship with God. When you walk down the road, you're taking a walk with God and you feel it. It's not like, where is he? Right here. Hare Krishna, there he is. You feel it. You feel like you're associating with somebody, because otherwise you're associating with some material bodies in the world that put you in an illusion, because you become attached to some bodies in the world who want to be somebody. That's religion. They're wannabes. We want to be somebody. Let me associate with them and be delivered. No, it doesn't work that way. You got to associate with this paradoxical idea, is you got to associate with somebody who's got the real body that lasts forever. That's the Son of God. Because they know somebody who's very important. The sum total of all bodies. The Lord, the Supreme Lord. He's a spirit. He's spiritual. The devotee is also spiritual. They live for each other. That's the relationship. That's what we teach here. If you're not teaching that, step aside, my friends. It's time for delivering some babies, man. There are a lot out there. The maternity ward's full. See, they're reducing the population now. Population reduction. And we're repopulating it with newborns, born agains, Vaishnava style. We're starting that You know, otherwise nobody's born again. They just sit there in their rituals like they did before Jesus, right? Ritualistic fasting, fasting. It's always like fast, you fast. You know, rules, regulations. Wash your hands, man. My ex-wife left here, you know, and she studied with Narayan Raj, and this was her conclusion. Very important to wash your hands after a meal. Ooh, what an upgrade there, Tom. She really got the upgrade, huh? And she believed it. Yeah, son. See, Son of God is the light, the light. Even Jesus said, while I'm in this world, I'm the light of the world. His word is the light. See, to those who worship, see, Bhagavad Gita 10:10, to those who worship God, Krishna, with loving ecstasy, which I'm sure Jesus did, I give them the understanding. That's the light. See, the light in this world, that's the real understanding of things as it is. And not just the real understanding to you, and then you keep it a secret. Because Prabhupada in our line did that since Bhakti Vinod, but now the secret's out. No more secrets. No more secret society. You know, like Prabhupada had his own confidential society of Bhakti Vinod. But yeah, their own confidential society in their room. It was just him and Krishna. He even said, man, you know, my God, I don't have any, you know, he's preaching, he has all these devotees. He says, actually, I got no real friends. You don't really know me. He said that. You guys don't really know me. I'm actually pretty much alone. You don't know my real mind. Bhakti Vinod was the same way. He wrote, you know, he just wrote. That's how he associated, was him and Krishna. And then Bhakti Siddhanta got the Gita Govinda, you know, by Jayadev, and all this confidential. He was so excited. He said, I want to print this book. Can I do it? Because he considered his father as guru, as Shiksha guru. Bhakti Vinod, even for the preaching, he says, yeah, you can print one book for you. That's it. Just you and the Lord go and enjoy together. But the world, give them rules, regulations, and Vaidhi for now. It's not time. Okay? Exactly. We'll wash our mouth out with divine vibrations. Yeah. You are the only worshipable Lord. So how much do you really want to know that? People need to ask, okay, you are so Krishna, yeah, this picture is my only worshipable Lord. I just got a picture. I don't really know Krishna, right? But I got a picture, right? I got a deity. I don't really know that the deity cries a lot and laughs, right? I don't know that. Oh, yeah, you know, you read, don't you read the book that Lord Caitanya cried like, isn't he that Krishna, and that Lord Caitanya worship it, and his actual nature is this crying and laughing because he's so excessively blissful and ecstatic. See? Well, that's not the face I worship. I first worship the Krishna that has no feelings, and the Radha with no feelings. And when I see those feelings on anybody, I condemn them. But I'm worshiping Krishna. Well, that's really deep, isn't it? Are you tired being around people like that? See, when Brahma says, you know, you are the only worshipable Lord, he means he knows something about the Lord more than a picture. Your qualities, then your manifestation in the world, your real face, I'm facing that. I see that. See, Brahma had realization, personal realization. He started to see the power of Krishna was there was power there. There was majesty there. There was intelligence there that bewildered his intelligence. See, see, he gave respect to Krishna instead of criticizing and trying to be mischievous with Krishna and steal and all that stuff from Krishna. See, Krishna taught him a lesson. It's the same thing here, man. You know, people, you have to see, you gurus, you're outdone. You're outgunned, man, here. You're outgunned. You know? We've hit a bullseye here. You have to be like Lord Brahma, and then you're going to make progress. Otherwise, you stay in that state of worshiping a face of Krishna. That's the false God, false face, speculative face. Just by the fact you take the name guru and you're a deliverer of your disciples and you can't deliver them, or what other speculation that you're going to bring them to the feet of Prabhupada because you don't have the power to deliver your disciples. That's not the line. The line is you have the power. This is the line. You're like Prabhupada. Otherwise, step aside. I deliver my disciples. Prabhupada delivered, well, he gave them a step. That was it. This is the finishing work. How dare you say, yeah, you can worship. This is so friggin' hypocritical. Such a lie. Yeah, you can worship me. You can give me your money. You can give me your time and energy and everything. And because I can't deliver you, I'll put you at the feet of Prabhupada. Prabhupada can deliver you. Yeah, you're supposed to be like that. Why are you taking worship? They're no better than you, and you're no better than them. How dare you? What a speculative nonsense. Yes, give me your word. Does anybody have a brain out there, or are you just brainwashed by lies and deceptions and illusion of religion? That's why nobody can get above that. You don't even know Guru Tattva. Your gurus can't teach you. They're teaching some speculative like, come give me your worship. Yeah, bow down to me. Give me your money. Yeah, work for me. And I'll put you at the feet of Prabhupada to deliver you. Oh, you friggin' liar. You've accepted lies as the truth. You accepted darkness as the truth. And you followers of that, you ready for your eyes to be open? Well, you listen to these classes. Yeah, they're tough, man. We're tough on illusion, right? You ready to put your thinking cap on? You come here. We'll get you. We'll jog your thinking in the right direction. Where this Krishna conscious movement, Prabhupada said, is for the intelligent. You surrender with your intelligence, not without it. It's not intelligent to surrender a person who is saying, I'm your deliverer, but I'm not your deliverer. That's called double think, man. That's brainwashing. Even the government does that. Yeah, I'm your deliverer, but I'm not your deliverer. Prabhupada is. But you worship me. You give me your money and your time and your energy. Sorry, that's a lie. I don't care how nice your gurus are or appear to be, how humble they present the lie. Doesn't matter. It's a lie, right? Humble, we present the lie like a praying mantis comes and the insect comes, very holy insect praying. Man, look, he's praying. Let me come close. And the praying mantis has in the mind to gobble them up. You one of those. That's called religion. We don't have the symptoms of religion here. We have the symptoms of truth. You don't give respect to the truth. You just stay in illusion, man. What are you coming to the Krishna conscious movement for? Is to advance in Krishna. That's not it, man. That's a lie, man. How dare they? If you don't accept this idea, then you're in darkness, and you're going to stay in darkness, and that's why they're the ones who say, "Go get that." They believe in the liars because they're liars. You see how it works? Birds of a feather flock together. I'm a real Acharya, Dave. Go get your shot. Yeah. And no ecstatic love, never cries a tear for Krishna. And yeah, well, look, I'm funny, and I memorized the verses, and I'm an intellectual, and I got a PhD. Follow me, give me your time. Yeah, to bow down to me, wash my feet. These guys get their feet washed. They're no better than anybody else. What even Jesus taught, he says, you're all brethren. There's only one teacher, that's called the Christ. You got to be one of those, see? And then you're a real teacher. But that's why he said, you're just brethren, man. There's one teacher, the Christ. And then they realize, oh, yeah. And then when the Christ comes in you, and they understand like St. Paul understood. To a degree, anyway. This is the advanced degree of understanding. The Lord is progressive. So it's just common sense. Prabhupada headed the real line to an extent. He preached. It's just like the Lord works through the line according to the capacity of the world. Well, now there's some increased capacity. Some people are really looking for this, and they just need to hear the message. And then they come. Whether it's 30 people, like we got 20 people watching. And these words they're seeds. They're seeds of the kingdom. They go into different types of soil and bear different levels of fruit, or no, maybe not much fruit at all in this time. They hear, and they go and criticize, and they go away. That's where Jesus said the devil comes in and steals away the word. The word goes in and then goes out. They go and, their minds, they just follow their minds. Worship and service sounds more distant than having an intimate relationship with Krishna beyond master and servant. Yeah, and actually, and friend, like devotees also have that. There's master and servant, and then there's friend and friend. Yeah, it's great. And other relations, those other two. Let's see what else. I offer my obeisances and prayers to just to please you. I offer my humble obeisances and prayers just to please you. See, the Lord is very pleased. That's why people get ecstatic devotion, just by accepting the real devotees who carry it. The Lord, you start to begin to understand the real pleasure of the Lord is very simple, is when he's very pleased when you find the real path, especially when you adhere to it. And you begin to feel that more and more. You feel the pleasure of the Lord, and then you start to do things for the pleasure of the Lord, because you realize that's where the real happiness is. Oh, the Lord's really happy I found a real guru. So what do you think those who are really got a clear understanding of this path, they continually give pleasure to the Lord by this accepting a real bona fide guru and actually standing up for one. See, and then teaching the real path. And then everybody, you're going to get pelted, right? They all start pelting. Oh, Gohar, he's nothing. No, he's a blah, blah, blah. And you just stand up. You don't think you're going to get. See, that was a Jesus, man. That's a real disciple of Jesus. They stood up and they were pelting. The Pharisees were pelting Peter, Paul, and all these guys, with stones, actual stones. You know, and they just kept on going, and because they worked for the pleasure of the Lord. They felt it, man. Look at that James, man. He was standing up for the Lord and telling his vision right publicly. They're throwing stones, literally killed the guy, and he was right there looking at the kingdom and preaching it. We have an easy job because they don't throw the real stones now so much. They throw the stony words, hard heart, stony words from stone hearts. And we just go on, you know, hey, I'm working for the pleasure of the Lord. You're working for the pleasure of of the batteries out there because you get energy from those. I get pleasure from God. I get pleasure from preaching the real word of God as it is. I get pleasure by revealing the emperor has no clothes, that these gurus are nonsense and bullshitters and cheaters. They're cheating you, man. And if any of them has ecstatic devotion, like Guru Govinda, he'll tell you the same thing I am, right? He said the same. Guru is like that, very rare, uncompromising, and they deliver their disciples. And you need a living guru. That was his message. Actually, when I was a Rhythmic, I disagreed with him. Actually, I said, I don't believe that. It's Prabhupada. Yeah, I did. I remember that. I didn't believe it. Had debates with some of his. I don't know. It's Prabhupada. Yeah. And it didn't work. I tried it. I tried the Rhythmic thing. Didn't work. Didn't do it. Just the order Prabhupada is always was the best thing. It works like a charm, man. Look at it. You guys are getting delivered because it's the Guru delivered. I had the Lord. You know, I was worshiping in ecstasy anyway. And then Prabhupada came after years. Okay. Now you deliver that to people. I'll send people to you. And you know, and if you're not feeling this is my guru, man. Because I consider you are my disciples and my friends. This is eternal. Isn't that way some people feel with Prabhupada? Why wouldn't you feel here? Because you're moved up to another level too. And then you're Prabhupada also, because it's a family affair here. All disciples belong, all Vaishnavas belong to each other. Rupa Goswami belongs to me. I belong to him. I surrender to anyone who's surrendered to the real Lord, you know, the real face of the Lord. Because the Lord comes as them. Literally, as them. Yes, as them. You don't have a guru like that, man. You know, you're not seeing things straight. You're looking at some other face, some two-faced. See, the Lord has two faces. One is the false and the other is the real. He's two-faced. You know, they have to say the two-faced, the guy's two-faced. They show you two faces. That's the imitation of God. See? God is also two-faced. So we look at both. I look at, for preaching purpose, I look at both faces and I use, hey, you see, this is the other face. You don't want to face that. Face this one. See, highest truth distinguished from illusion. All right. Your gunja earrings and peacock feather on your head. Wearing garlands of various forest flowers, leaves, and equipped with a herding stick, a buffalo horn, and a flute. See, equipment, herding stick. What do you think? Hey, we're manifesting Vrindavan. You got to have a herding stick, man. Hey, man, move over here. Move in this direction. Buffalo horn. What else are you going to use the horn for? You want to draw attention, right? Call. It's time, you know. Time for Sadhu Sangha. See, when they get cowherd boys get together, they'd be doing that, you know. They'd be blowing the horns, you know. Buffalo horns. What was that? What's the other one? Let's see. Oh, and flute. Yeah,
Yeah.
flute. Yes. Yeah, the whatever it is, the song, the lecture, the discussion, the glorification, the writing. See, that's the flute. We got many flutes here. You see all the flutes playing together. It's like a symphony, you notice? Come together. Yeah. We teach people how to play the flute and how to be played by the flautist. Wearing garlands. Okay. You stand beautifully with a morsel of food in your hand.
I have a question.
Okay, what?
Is the flute also a symbolic for the attraction?
Well, the attraction. No, the food is the actual food, the bread of life. See, the actual word, that's the food, and the attraction to that.
And the flute,
Oh, the flute. Okay, so what did say your thing again?
does it symbolize attraction?
Go. You say, Lolita. What is your idea?
When you are attracted to the sound of the flute, yeah. It symbolizes attraction, of course. It's the sound of the Lord. It sucks you towards Him. When you hear this sound, when you hear this true, you want to have it, you want to have more and more. Yeah, it's very attractive. It's part of His all attractive features.
Yeah. So like that. The flute. So attraction is, well, there's the flute. The flute is actually the guru or the devotee, you know, that has real devotion. See, they're the flutes, and the Lord uses them. He expresses his transcendental energy through them. See, so the attraction is if you're attracted to that. Even if you're adverse to that, that's an attraction, is the aversion, attraction, aversion. See, so that's why when the Son of Man rises or Son of God rises, see, rising means is the preaching. You speak the word. Then people rise to condemnation because they're attracted by aversion, and others rise to life. See, they are attractive. So you're usually at one side or the other, or you're in the in between, which is the lukewarm. Nothing much happens. Yeah, go ahead there, Lolita.
That's why it's so important to have a living guru, to have a living person who represents that Lord, because he can speak that word, he lives that word, he can explain it, and you can see those rays inside of him. He's really that living God here on earth. How else can we meet Krishna?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like you talk about a flute. Wow, the flute of Krishna is really great. It's really great. It's really great. But do you really know what is a flute of Krishna until one manifests in this world and you have personal contact with where it's alive, it's a living. It's not just a book. It's a living expression of what you read in the book, because there was a flute 5,000 years ago, and even 550 years ago, Lord Caitanya was acting like a flute of Krishna and Advaita and all of these devotees. The living God, the living transcendental Lord was expressing through those flutes, through Advaita, through Nityananda, through Lord Caitanya, and through their followers. See, that's the point. The followers accepted those flutes. It's the same thing now. People are the problem. The ones who don't accept these flutes here in our Sangha. We got flutes here. Okay, flutes are the transcendental expression of the Lord, and that's what is like. This is why the Lord doesn't always manifest this. It's a great boon, a great blessing, a great opportunity for whoever gets this. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that the flute makes you functional. It makes you dance and sing also. It makes you
Yeah,
functional.
I mean that's the thing, and it's called that's spontaneous devotion. It comes spontaneously from that attraction. You become attracted to the real flutes and that are expressing the real Lord, and you start dancing. It's like Haridas. There's a nice pastime in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Um, Lord Caitanya said, read your poetry. The poetry is the word of God coming through Rupa Goswami. So he said, Rupa, you read your poetry that you wrote. And so he reads this poetry, or it might have been Ramananda or some reading it. But anyway, devotees reading these truthful words of God expressed through a devotee. See? And Haridas heard the vibration, he started dancing. Huh? That's how it is, And so the devotees cause everybody to dance. Even the ones, this is a dance too. Go, Hari, you're in the illusion. That's a dance, Not, a little fumbly, but, causes people to dance. And some people, they cause to glorify Krishna and the truth and the guru and devotees. And, electric guitar here. Yeah, it's a bit electric. Yeah, we play some heavy metal here sometimes. It's a little bit of a wild thing.
True Guru, always true Guru.
Yeah, I mean, the Lord set it up that way. What a great preaching. When you preach the right way, you continually give pleasure to the Lord because the Lord is pleased to deliver people. And if you don't set the example, like people want to jump over to be guru, they don't understand being a disciple is being guru. Because you show the real path. You go in the door and become the shepherd of the sheep by your example. That's teacher, that's guru. And if you do that, in your own heart, you get great pleasure from that. See, because you're pleasing the Lord. That's called pure devotional service. People don't know. But when you jump over guru to be guru, see, that's contamination. That's not pure devotional service. See, it's the same thing, like with Prabhupada. People basically jumped over guru in that sense to become guru. They weren't qualified to be real guru. This is what this people don't know what was in Prabhupada's mind. I do. He even said it. He said, my spiritual master never mentioned that this person should be Acharya, the Ananta Vasudeva. He never mentioned that you appoint him. He could have said, but he didn't. So they should have just continued the mission, worshiping the real authorized spiritual master, which was him. Okay? And by the Acharya would arise. So that was Prabhupada's mind. Everybody can check that out. And they all, every one of them, just like the gurus, just like all the followers of Bhaktisiddhanta speculated and did the opposite of what Prabhupada's idea was. And after Prabhupada, and you see Prabhupada, he didn't like this. He would never have done that. And he had the real understanding of his guru. And ultimately, he became Acharya himself. See? And then after he disappears, all his disciples did exactly the same thing as the Godbrothers. They appointed each other as gurus. And one of them was qualified with the right standard. They should have just continued the mission, and the Acharya would automatically have arisen. Well, it didn't go that way. It's part of destiny. But should we just leave, just not make our comments, not say anything? Well, then it would continue to go that way. See? No, ultimately, this needs to be known. The real path needs to be known and shown and demonstrated by a real guru and real disciples. Because this is, you see, you get the results and they don't. And that's why all they can do is, this is like a war. All they can do, a war of information and words and lies and deceptions and cheating and speculation against the outright truth, right? And we will win because truth is always stronger. I've been preparing for this for a long time. Prabhupada prepared for his I prepared for this preaching. You're preparing for this preaching. See? Why? Because we're going to war. We're in the war already. It's a World War V. A war with the world, against the world. We're going against the whole ball of wax here. The demons and the demigods. Any speculation is a target. Why? Because it's ordained, man. This is apocalypse. What do you think Prabhupada's writing all these books for, and the Goswamis and everything? It's for this time, because we're at war. A playful war, nothing, The wars in Vrindavan were not very serious. They were serious, but playful.
Those
They're
books
very
are our
serious.
weapons. They are our weapons.
There are weapons, the truth. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes with a flower, and sometimes with a thunderbolt. It's the nature of Krishna. He's like that. Like father, like son. If you haven't found a son like the father, well, you haven't found deliverance yet. They got to be of the same nature. Birds of a feather flock together. Transcendental personalities. The Lord comes as that devotee, man. He comes, he's the one in that devotee. He's running the real show, man. Yeah. We fight armed with flutes and armed with clubs and flowers and all kinds of beautiful things. Yeah. Sometimes you pluck out a thorn with a thorn. You need a sharp thorn to pluck out a thorn that's stuck in people. See? That's why the Lord had different natures. He's sometimes like a lion roaring. See? People, because you see these aggressive people going against our roaring, rah! It's like two monkeys, looking at each other, and the meaner one wins. You ever see? The stronger one wins. See, that's like these little chimps, chumps. These little chumpy chimps. They come up to a real devotee and go, rah, would show their teeth. And the gorilla goes, rah, and gobbles them up. That's what we do here. Come on, you little chumpy chimps. You false gurus. Yeah, the Lord let it go for a while, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. Let it, after Bhakti Siddhanta, let these false acharyas continue. And then after Prabhupada, let them continue a little while longer, but now it's finished. Why, man? For the benefit of the world, for God's sake. Otherwise, nobody advances. Everybody just line up for their shots and they'll be disappearing. See, you're following into the regeneration. See, Jesus said, those who follow me in the regeneration will be saved. Can you see how it's the same doggone thing there? Same thing, always the same when you find a real devotee. That's the problem. They haven't found a real guru that's told you the full confidential truth, like Maharaj Parikshit got from a real guru, like the wives of the Brahmins got from the real gurus, the cowherd boys, and not these Brahmin guys, these Brahmin chumps, chimpy chumps, chubby chimpy chumps. See, we trim the fat from the chubby chimpy chumps. So don't be a chump, chubby chubby. Don't be one of those. Don't see, they will not survive. Be with the gorillas, the kings of the jungle, right? The gorilla, strongest, the gorilla, right? The smartest too, I think. You know, they're the
Yeah,
My
you're
dear,
really blowing new life in Vaishnavism and Christianity even. The Lord always sends somebody who enlightens it again and who puts it straight. Come on. You went on the right path, you mix it with Maya again. Come on, let's go to the truth again. This is it.
that's why Jesus said the truth will set you free. He was serious. You know, we're serious. I'm serious about this also. The truth will set people free. Otherwise, you get misdirected. That's why it takes many lifetimes. If you follow the path of austerities to be delivered, it's first of all, it's too hard. It's like following something in some other yuga. You know, follow the path of austerities, follow the path of renunciation. It's a path, right? You follow the path, and that's what they teach. Yeah, be austere, be regulated, do that. Okay, beginners, fine. Matter of fact, you think those persons are pure devotees who preach that path. See? No, the pure devotees are the ones that preach. Ultimately, what's inside they bring outside. See, that Sat Chit Ananda that's inside comes outside. Their body is the temple of Sat Chit Ananda, and this is the time of delivering Sat Chit Ananda to others, to breathe that into, see, breathe the word. Truth, word, truth, breathe, speak. Speak the truth, speak the word of life. Even the Christians, they understood this. You speak life into people, life is the truth. Or are you speaking death? Death is speculation. That's religion. Abandon it now. You come here, you'll be able to. Do you want to abandon religion and surrender to the real Krishna, the real face of God? Do you want to face the real Lord that the real devotees facing the ecstatic devotion? You face here, you'll face what I'm facing. You'll be face to face with what I'm face to face with. That's the line. It's always been the line. Always will be the line. Past, present, and future. It's always the way of deliverance. Well, that's why it's in chapter 1. Why would it not be an internal principle if it was not taught? If it was taught in Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 1. The foundation of it all. That's why you see you guys got the foundation and you get the real Krishna. They don't have the foundation yet. They're not clearly understanding the guru principle. Therefore, they don't get the real Krishna yet. Until they give respect to this preaching, which is then they're giving respect to the truth, and the pleasure of the Lord will awaken in them. They will feel it. The Holy Spirit will awaken in them. The spirit of devotion, the spirit of God, and realize, oh, this Lord is living inside me. I didn't know that. Now I know. You don't face this truth or give it respect and honor, well, you stay unaware of that and just a follower of rules and regulations and preacher of rules and regulations and ceremonies. You become like the poopy popes. Who knows? Maybe you become a pedophile Vaishnava. How many pedophiles have we had not in this ISKCON thing? How many? Come on, it's history. But you should mention that. No, we don't even look at. Yeah, of course, you're like a friggin' ostrich putting your head in the sand and thinking you're going to be saved from being mowed down by Maya. You ever see an ostrich? Let me put my head in the sand. Let me look at the darkness in a hole, and I'll be saved. That's speculation. That's the lies in the world. You need somebody who says, I'm in this world, but not of it. We make devotees, convert them into people like that. where we're in this world, but we're of spirit, right? We live on spirit. We live on these moonbeams of the truth. This is our life, our inspiration. We keep the Lord happy in our heart and ecstatic. That's Radha. You got to keep her happy. She only lives on truth. She doesn't want the false Krishna. She doesn't like speculations. She doesn't like a speculative God. She doesn't like it. She'll just be bored, man, and she will go to sleep. That's why you go to sleep too, because she's asleep. We wake up Radha. We wake up devotion here, bhakti and all of that. We wake up the Lord in the heart. That's our work. Hey, why wouldn't you be good with that? What, you want to stay asleep and following some mundane gurus who are not really qualified? Or do you want to be with a real guru who wakes up the Lord in the heart? We've already proved we wake up the Lord in the heart. The Lord is very pleased when you come here, and he proves it. It's he does the work, right? He gives the increase in your life. How many witness testimonies do we get? How many do they not get? Nobody stands up for their gurus because their gurus don't really do any. It's just a play. They don't even know the importance of the witness program. You know, if you say that you're a spiritual master and you're taking people to Vrindavan, there should be some witnesses that, hey, I'm getting into Vrindavan by following this guru. He's giving me the real product, the real Krishna, because I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling feelings I've never felt before. I'm feeling a love that's so pure and so wonderful. That's not available anywhere else. It's not available with Radhanath and Jaipataka or any of those gurus. Not available with any of the gurus in Gaudiya Samiti. I know, I checked. And you've checked too out there. It's only a no-show. They just go, yeah, we have it, but they don't have it, I guess, because you don't got it. But we got it. We got people standing up and saying, yeah, my life has changed. And people are so much darkness, they have still hard trouble seeing. So we'll go on preaching and more Sadhu Sangha. Oh, why not, man? It's fun to do this anyway. It's fun. It's easy to deliver the world. We just go on preaching the absolute truth as it is without compromise. Regardless of all the babies kicking and screaming and complaining. What do babies do? Kick, scream, and complain. Wah, wah. You shouldn't cry. You shouldn't cry. Grandpa said you shouldn't cry. Quack, quack, quack. Too bad. They get very angry like Democrats. He's crying. He's not supposed to cry, Lalita. She's such a demon. Stop.
Mean out of ignorance. And angry when you tell that they are ignorant. Ooh, the proud is hurt then.
Yeah. Well, you gotta pop some pus boils, you know. Otherwise, the pus stays in. You know, it's got to come out, right? You got to see the white. You know, the pus has to. It's ooh. Then you see, ooh, that's the poison in there is coming out. Man. Yeah, that's good. Anyway, we go on our preaching. We don't take any mind to it. It's just part of the program, you know. Part of waking up. So, my dear Lord, neither I nor anyone can estimate the potency of this transcendental body of yours. And that's what you practically, if you come into this Sangha, you'll see that practically in your own life, in your own assertion of Krishna. Well, how can that be? Because you'll be chanting Krishna's name, and you'll know that Krishna is non-different than his name, Radha and Krishna. And you will see there's no, you cannot fathom a end to this. It just gets ever fresh, every new. We are so real here. Where do you see people say, wow, this class is deeper and deeper and deeper and more fresh and more fresh? Because we'll never come to an end of glorifying the Lord. It's just unlimited. You got to meet somebody like Ananta Sesh, who is constantly glorifying the Lord and never runs out of glorification of the absolute truth. Bhakti Siddhanta would take one verse, and for a month he would preach on the same verse, just to prove the point. That's an empowered person. How many times do we repeat Bhagavad Gita 10:10 in an ever fresh new application? Yeah. No one can estimate. And so you want to be on this path? You want to be always enthralled by the transcendental Lord, because this is the greatest life, man. There is no life greater than this, because this is real life, and everything else that does not have to do with the transcendental potency is death, more or less. All the speculations of the demigods keep you in the material universe. All the speculations of the demons that you believe in or you propagate in this world, and the speculations of the demigods and the promotion of the demigods, you go to them, and that's as far as you can go. And people think that's the same God. Well, I'm sorry, I beg to differ. This God that they claim to worship, that's their path. You see, they follow their path. Oh, your path is your path, and my path is your path is of the demigods. Because if your path was of this nature, would be this style. It would be very ecstatic. You would have transcendental feelings, and you'd be bringing in the transcendental potency. Otherwise, your path is still an illusion. And if you think it's the same path, that's just a thought. It's just a material thought and speculation. Because, I know, well, see, Christians, I can go into their kingdom after this body is finished, but they can't come into mine unless they accept this preaching. Otherwise, they'll think this kingdom is a false kingdom because of their speculations. They're not purified enough. It depends on who you associate with. Well, I associate with Rupa and Sanatan and Prabhupada and all these great, exalted, latest incarnations of the Lord and his devotees. They don't. See, so they can only stay in Jesus' kingdom, and Jesus will know what I know because that he led me here. Just like Lord Shiva, he has disciples. They follow him. If he's got any sincere ones, when I was in India, he would send them to me. I would give class, to these people. They were worshipers of Shiva, but they would show up here. He knows what's going on, but they got followers. It's like Prabhupada. What do you think his preaching was? Bhakti Siddhanta and Bhakti Vinod. They had followers. But did they reveal their real mind? Their real, ecstatic mood? Because no, obviously not, because they criticized this mood. They didn't see it enough in Prabhupada because it wasn't time. Because what they do here, they would have done to him. That's why you see, this is more like the Jesus preaching, right? He said, what they do to you, if they accepted your word, they'll accept mine. See? If they go against you, because they went against me. See? But that's not so with that. See, Prabhupada didn't reveal the full extent of the transcendental potency, but we do. And therefore, that saying of Jesus is more applicable here. Yeah, if they would accept me, they'll accept your preaching if you're a real follower here. Isn't that what people are doing here? They come and they get great life from Lalita and Johan. See, why? Because they're looking for that. That's why anybody who really knows Prabhupada, if they did, they would accept here. But most people don't know. Even the intimate, like Gargamuni, he doesn't understand the depth of Prabhupada, even though he was close with him and all that. He's sometimes appears took me off the friend list and stuff like that because he doesn't know the depth of Prabhupada. They only know a certain level. See, but you need to know, if you know the nature of a real guru when they're expressing and teaching and everything, then you know the real nature of God. That wasn't given yet to the Vaishnavas until now. When you understand the real nature and you're really attracted to this preaching because I'm giving you the real face of Krishna as Krishna is. See, when that's accepted, then you'll be accepted because you're accepting the Lord. I'm just giving you the real Lord, right? You see, isn't the Lord ecstatic? Didn't he show he was ecstatic in the book that you read? Where our Krishna consciousness started 550 years with ecstatic devotees, and all of a sudden, ecstasy is not the answer. Ecstasy is not supposed to be. We have all these dry gurus. It's supposed to be like that, even though it started from a very ecstatic stage. The books are written by ecstatic devotees. You know, the preaching was by ecstatic devotees, and people got ecstasy and love of Krishna from ecstatic devotees preaching ecstatic message. And you wonder why there's no ecstatic love of Krishna. The path of prema is some far off goal for people, some far off thing after many lives, because there's no real deal preaching in the world with real devotees that were like then and now. See, it's all in the book and stays in the book till it's extracted by the living devotees who have the life and expressed the Satchidananda nature in this world. The ecstasy, the conclusive, no nonsense, absolute, as it is truth. Regardless of what they're doing now. If you're in some lie, I'm here to expose. It's apocalypse time. I'm not here to tolerate it and to just say, well, it's okay, and I'll do the etiquette. Oh, Jaipataka. Oh, Radhanath, you're great, exalted devotees of Prabhupada. Oh, let me give you respect and honor of your position as guru and spiritual master. Well, if you're not in the position, you're going to break. We're here to break the false deities, the false gurus. Has to. Otherwise, nobody progresses. What do you think they killed Jesus for? He exposed the truth. These Pharisees can't deliver you, but he could. Those gurus cannot deliver you, but we can, because we got the real jewels. We got the real Krishna and real Radha. We prove we got the real mercy of Lord Caitanya in this line. These are real followers of the real ecstatic Lord, and the Lord keeps us alive with his ecstatic potency, and we prove it every day, and they can prove nada. Are you ready to come out of the false follower pile? Anybody. Just grab onto the hook. Just put it in your ear. You got a hole in there? We'll make the hole and just let us pull you over here. Pull your ear. We will pull you. We don't hook you in the mouth. No. You just be quiet and just listen. See? Just take the hook in the ear, and that. If you're a lady, you got probably a hole in the ear. Just let it go in there and just bring your ear over here. See, this is a new kind of fishing. And we fish and we grab the little earlobe, and pull it over here. See, the hook in the mouth. No, we don't want any mouthy people. You just come here, keep the mouth shut for a while, and just listen. We'll hook you there. Painless hook, especially when you have a hole. We don't have to make a hole in it. We'll just put it in the original. I even have a hole here still. See, I love this verse. Oh God, this is so great. My dear Lord. Yeah, it's so great to love the prayers of devotees, man. It's so fantastic. I love it. Okay. Thank you, Lord, for this attraction. My dear Lord, neither I nor anyone can estimate the potency of this transcendental body of yours, which has shown such mercy to me which appears just to fulfill the desires of your pure devotees. See? So most people are not pure devotees. See, so, and some people are devotees and they just need some help. See, so the Lord manifests his transcendental body, yeah, through a devotee. You see, we're manifesting the transcendental body of the Lord by this preaching, by this emanation, by this ecstatic ecstasy. See, this is the showing mercy to the world. And people arise. Some people arise to life, like the fannies, and ooh, wow, this is what I was looking for. The others rise to condemnation, condemn. But people are arising, waking up, right? Some people, the condemners, they're just, don't wake me up. I'm going to stay asleep. No, we're going to keep on waking you up, man. It's like Kulya, didn't want to be woken up. He was sitting there sleeping and poisoning the river, right? Like they're doing. They're poisoning the river, in the unseen, and you're drinking all that Hari Katha full of poison. And then Krishna jumps in that river, man, and disturbs the sleeping of the Kalya serpent with all the poisoning the river of Hari Katha. That's what the real river. See, jumps in that river. See, what do? We jump in the river. Why? With the truth. We just present the real Krishna. That's jumping in the river. We jump right into the stream, right? The stream of the preaching of religion, of the Vaishnava religion. We just jump in that stream. It causes trouble, right? They come and they fighting. And they wrap their coils around our, try to pull us down and everything. And we keep just having a good time, right? They're wrapping their coils around us, just go on emanating and preaching, giving the real Krishna. And the real Krishna destroys the illusion eventually. That's the real Bhagavatam. See, the real conclusive understanding of God. See, the real associates of the Lord that have the transcendental potency, that bring that potency in the world to deliver you and me and everybody else. You must be born again, spiritually regenerated, from mundane feelings into spiritual feelings, to feel spiritual bliss and the variegated feelings of love of Krishna called transcendental mellows. You need a guru that has that, otherwise you're not going to that place. That's called Vrindavan, for real. That's the kind of destination that's here. See, the Lord has shown so much mercy to Brahma to have him realize that transcendental potency. The Lord has shown us so much mercy. That's why, this is so much mercy. I cannot think like this. I cannot have this experience of the Lord, pleasing the Lord, and what that looks like, what that feels like, what that experience actually is, unless the real mercy of the Lord is here. And it's my nature because it's his nature. And Lord Caitanya is my worshipable deity. Nityananda, my worshipable deity. Therefore, that nature is also here. I want to share it with others too. Why not? It's nice to have friends. They like friends. I like friends too. Like father, like son, like mother, like daughter. Like friend, like maintainer, like want to maintain. Also, I want to maintain, right? Maintenance. I need maintenance, and so the Lord maintains us all here. It gives us that beloved experience. Isn't that amazing? He gives us my master. Oh, get everything here. I love it. Vrindavan. Here we come. Here we are. My good, we got everything here. The Lord is our beloved. We're maintaining him. He's maintaining us. He's our master, and we're his masters sometimes. We're his teachers. He's teaching us. My God, what don't you get here in this Sangha, for God's sake, and yours and mine and everybody else's? just to fulfill the desires of your pure devotees. And as you're getting more and more purified, right? You notice that as we get more and more purified, the more and more we understand and appreciate and glorify. Just naturally, it becomes our nature to glorify the absolute truth. And people get delivered just by having fun, man. I just love glorifying the absolute truth. And people get delivered. It seems to provide food for people. Starting with Goharidas, you know. And I'm teaching you. You guys are also learning how to do this. Learning, getting the knack. How to eat food and give food at the same time, man. That's the preaching of Lord Caitanya. That's the teaching of Lord Caitanya. That's the teaching of devotees here. They teach by eating publicly. We just like to have public feasts. You know, why have a feast in your closet? That day is over. That was 50 years ago. That was the last time. You know, Prabhupada ate his feasts in his room, writing his books in ecstasy and chanting in ecstasy in his room. That time is over. So, public feasting now. It's time for everybody to learn the birds and the bees. Lord Caitanya came to publicly feast. Why do you think we got this information now? Because he publicly preached. He rolled into town laughing and crying, just like we roll into Facebook Live, laughing and crying, choking up, relishing the name, and preaching the glories of what we're doing and what people could be experiencing and are experiencing. See, we're like, this is our preaching in South India. We just go on Facebook and just go over the airwaves, and people all over the world have the opportunity to connect. And one by one they come. You see? One by one. Which is good. Nice. The Lord's controlling. He's the event coordinator of how many events we get. Because I'll tell you, when people come here, they see, wow, their lives change, man. It's like a birth, you know, it's celebration, man. Having friends in this setting is completely different than having friends in the mundane sense. It's transcendental relationship that becomes more and more as our awareness of true spiritual potency enhances. Yeah. Give us a word, Lalita.
Yeah, first of all, I can see that when Amy writes, I was a good friend of Fanny, but this has completely changed. We are other friends now. You know?
Say that again. I didn't get that. What do you mean?
I was a friend of Fanny before she came in the Sangha.
Uh-huh.
But we are completely different friends now.
Ah.
It's completely different. It's completely, both of us, we can't believe, wow, what's going on with us now?
Yeah.
It's completely different. Yeah. Transcendental and really falling in love with each other. This has nothing to do with the past. It's really unbelievable. And both of us are so surprised. And it's because we both received the transcendental body of the Lord that we did not deserve. That we even didn't know that we desired for it, you know?
Yeah.
We don't know because we read here, the Lord fulfills the desires of his devotees. We're so stupid that we didn't know that this was our desire. It's unbelievable. It's all by your association, Guru Maharaj. And I'm sucking the Lord's transcendental body out of you.
Oh, I'm devoid of now. I have no life.
I'm stealing. I'm a thief.
It sounds like you got the mood of, see, you got the mood of Advaita. He would suck it out of the Lord.
Oh yeah, I know where to find him.
Yeah.
It's it's wonderful. It's really wonderful.
Yeah, you see, the Lord even gives the desire. You see, He comes to fulfill the desire of His devotees. But on the broader level, everybody is a devotee, and that's why He came in Kali Yuga to wake people up, even demons, because they're all devotees. Whether you can't get out of it. Even when you're worshiping in the mode of ignorance, you because you're a devotee, you have to be devoted to something. That's why the demons, they're actual devotees, believe it or not. I mean, that, of course, when you have hate, you're blinded by hate and anger, you can't see that. But actually, on the broader scale, everybody's a devotee. That's why in Uttamadikar, you see everybody's devotee. They're worshiping the Lord in ignorance, but they're still doing rituals, right? They're still doing some level of worship. Demigods also, it's just a little more better, more refined, mode of goodness, vegetarian, not killing things, and killing people. See, the demons, they kill people even for the sacrifice. This is, and now at this time, is the time when they're doing not just animal sacrifice, they do human. And so anyway, it gets more refined. And then ultimately, Shuddha Bhakti is the devotee themselves as the sacrifice. Yeah, and that's the most pleasing to the Lord. And that's when you get full realization that it's you and the Lord together now, and we preach that here. That's the level of our preaching then, bring people into that, to show that they actually, anybody, the highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for everybody, even demons. The preaching this is truly non-sectarian, where there's not part of, we reach in all folds. Jesus did, Lord Caitanya did. There are some very demoniac people that changed. Narada Muni did, and you'll see this preaching will also reach into anybody. That's why I give a little message out for the demons, let them know that we're not here, we're not against anybody. We're for everybody. We're for that part of you that will be more satisfied in this worship, and it's open to all. And once you get it, the Lord will purify your whole nature into a transcendental nature. Because the demons or the demigods, there's a ceiling on their freedom. They're only free up to various levels and extent. See, this is full freedom and sovereignty, but you got to be in the real, understand things as they are, that be devoted to the spiritual Lord, not the mundane Lord, not the mundane manifestation and expression in this world. So whoever's tired of all these things can come here. If you're tired of Vaidhi, if you feel like, is there anything more? Well, this is the more. You won't find any place more like this.
It is actually unbelievable that the Lord is giving us this transcendental body. This is, you can't get it.
You guys are proof. You guys are proof. You're witnesses.
He's so good, man. He's so transcendentally good, so pure goodness. And we never deserved this at all. This is unbelievable. This life, this happiness is unbelievable. Good that you're there.
Govinda looks like a happy guy, huh? You like the...
Oh boy, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Oh, I'm cycling around today on the bicycle. This is a fantastic addition to distribution. Harinam Sankirtan, every city, every town. Be able to do that.
Yeah.
So nice to cycle. It's like a horse chomping at the bit, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah.
Put that little red button, you're going up the hill. Oh, sailing.
Oh, yeah. Can you find charging stations enough? You're able to charge the thing?
Yeah, I've got my Witherspoons mapped out that I can go into that charging points near the door. I know the staff.
That's the way you map it all
Yeah.
out. There you go. You just
Oh,
put that
yeah.
on the agenda. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you usually probably spend a few hours at Witherspoon's. Huh?
Yeah. Charge everything up. Take the milk. Just, fill a flask of milk and coffee for the day.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's fantastic, man.
If people really knew what's going on here, I mean, when you fully take to this path, everything naturally comes. Like I shared yesterday, finding gold. These worldly things come. All the things that people are seeking to get, you just find them on the street. You find them in the bushes, money and things. You just find them because you're using them in the assistance of Caitanya. Chaitanya's thinking, oh, Govinda's a bit low. Here's some gold. Here's some money. Or it's all provided, Guru Maharaj. It's the most amazing life. I don't think we've really got your life story out there yet fully because there's so much of it. I still think questions and answers would be great if a devotee out there wants to put them together and ask. I did talk with one devotee about it. I won't mention, but that's something. And these aphorisms.
You could do like question and answers on live video. We have technology. Have an interview.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I always have some, but now actually in the moment, I can't think of any. But I know I've got some.
No, not right now. But it can be like as people want to do it like an interview, they can do that. See, it was the same problem 550 years ago. People could not question Lord Caitanya. They didn't have the power to do it unless it was like somebody like Rupa Goswami. It was the same thing with Shukadev Goswami. People didn't have the power to question him except until Maharaj Parikshit could ask the right questions. It's the same thing here. It's been a long time before people can come up with questions. Because it's not easy to ask questions to do with the absolute truth. That's why the devotees usually ask the questions at first to prime the pump, and because the people are weakened by the Maya, they can't even think of like, why am I here? Why am I suffering? They can't, Yeah. And that's why, you see people, they interview. There's a guy, he interviews people all the time, all Vaishnavas. But it's always questionings about the mundane stuff, nothing really spiritual about, that level of religion. They can ask lots of speculations and all that, but nobody will even invite me for an interview. This guy never, he has some awareness of what we're doing, but they never, because they don't have the power to see the importance of it. They think it's just important. Yeah, let me get a devotee who's been in a regulative devotee and they're dressed really nice and all of that, and ask them questions about Varnashram Dharma and about, more of the material side of devotional service. But who wants to know the esoteric side? Practically nobody yet.
No, that's it, isn't it? That's the crux, isn't it? People haven't made that distinction. What's going on here is so special, so amazing. The more witness testimonies are coming, darshans are coming all the time. But as you say, like earlier, one by one, it's just going out there, it's getting out there. It's powerful. It's so powerful. It's so powerful to live in this, because I was remembering my fruitive activities, going from a 12-hour shift on the shop floor to an auction house to make money, working 6 days a week and then doing a market on the other day off. That's insanity. Now I just don't have to do any of that. Oh, it's so beautiful. What you've given us is amazing. It's truly amazing. And I like the organicness, the DIY-ness of just the same as what Prabhupada started Matchless Gifts. You're doing it with that organicness. We don't need those big institutions to people please or be part of that committee to compromise. No way. It's so amazing.
Yeah, this is more free, isn't it? This is free, no restriction. You can't have people say, you're not supposed to do this. This was the problem for Gaur Govinda, why he left. because he was restricted by being in ISKCON, and he was always kind of preaching, just stay with ISKCON. He was kind of adhering to that. But it got, to be around all those restrictions. It's almost like being in the government, and you got the right ideas and you're trying to work within the system, and they're always thwarting you because it's material, mundane, religious. Even religion is like that too. Here, there's no restriction. We preach I've been given the order to preach without restriction.
Yeah,
So
and that's it.
yeah,
That's it. And you see that with the protesters in the world, they just really can't get their head around. They're trying the hardest to understand why the demons are doing this. But if they just understood the modes of nature, they would see, oh, it's all acting uniformly. Yeah.
So read Eric's question. He has said he has a question.
I can't see it, so
okay,
Tom,
somebody.
I will read
You
it.
see it?
Here's a question. How do you give the bhakti to people? Is it a seed form in your words and coming out of your own realization?
Yeah, I mean, it's the book, and it's described in a way that comes by revelation and realization, but it's received. See, we're sowing seeds of the kingdom, and it's the emanation also. Those who come close to this, they receive it differently. Some, the word goes in and then the devil comes in. That's like Jesus said, the devil comes and steals the word away. And some receive the word with great joy. You see that here. Some people, they come, oh, this is really great and everything. And then you don't see them next week. Very enthusiastic, give me a name, all this, and then they're gone. See, they get the joy, but it doesn't take deep root. Yeah, go ahead, Lolita. What?
It's by showing your devotion, especially by showing the symptoms of ecstatic love, that you give the bhakti to others.
Yeah, it's from the word and from the emanation. And and it goes in differently with different types of soil. People are like soil. If it goes in deep and and the person continues to water it by staying in with sadhus, then it grows. You can see those, they come and they're very enthusiastic sometimes, and then they just, Maya just grabs them and takes them away. So it just doesn't go in very deep. And maybe they come back, and get a little more, and then they go run. Some have that nature. But those who come and they stay, the seed goes in very deep, and the water and the water and water, and just by and by it grows more and more, and you become more fixed and more purified, more clear, more ecstatic, more and more and more, and then you become like these devotees and that we read about in the books, and have these kinds of realizations. Oh, your transcendental potency is always deep, always ever fresh, always increasing. See, because you stayed, the seed is in deep, and you continue to water it. See? Otherwise, the others are just less intelligent. They come, they get a little water and thing, and then they go away. So that's why you see the devotees here, they make deep progress, right? You notice, you can look at their videos. Look at Govinda, the way he was before and the way he is now. Look at Lalita, the way she was then and the way she is now. Look at River and everybody. Anybody. Look at Tom, the way he was and the way he is now. See? So you see there's progress, upgrades. Is that so there, Tom? What's your realization?
Yes, sure. It's amazing what's coming here from this source, from this sangha. It's beyond everything. There's so much to learn in these classes. Unbelievable. Beyond you cannot think of it.
Yeah. What does Eric say? He said something else.
from both your preaching and your own experience of the bliss you get from Krishna that you demonstrate?
Is
Question
that a
mark.
question? You have a question mark, but you're not saying it like a question. So the watering devotion we received is to keep coming to hear it. Oh, I see. Well, here's the to keep coming to hear this preaching and see the devotee. Yes, that's Sadhu Sangha, man. You know, this all grows in association with the devotees because, see, we come here, the Lord comes. It's like a rendezvous. Why wouldn't it increase? Yeah, go ahead there, Lalita.
You fight the Lord.
Yeah.
It is when you are in that deep connection with Him that He is here. We feel His presence. This prema from the Lord is emanating from you and enters inside of us. That's how it creates, how those seeds are planted. That's how it's growing more and more and more. That's how you give this, like Lord Caitanya, tasting and give away the sweetness of praising the Lord. You do exactly what Chaitanya did 500 years ago.
It's got to, if love of God is going to manifest, it has to be that way. And it is that way here. See, so that's how, see, we're rendezvousing with the Lord. Like the Lord would rendezvous with the residents every day. They would meet twice a day, actually, or 2 or 3 times a day. They would meet, and that was their water. See, you have to be watered, otherwise it's just like food. Like if you don't get sufficient food, you start to get skinny, right? You lose your energy. You start to get sick. Well, we have a spiritual body awakened now. That has to be fed if it's going to develop. If you stop feeding it food, the food is Hari Katha, is chanting the holy name. And that food, it waters the bhakti creeper because then you feel nourished. The ecstatic love is the nourishing. That's the power. That's the love. That's the life. It's the life of Krishna, is this love for himself, actually, for God. So that has to be nourished to make what do you think making the Lord happy means? You notice happy means feeling, right? We just read that. Is the whole thing is to satisfy you, satisfy feeling. So you got to have experience what making the Lord happy is. It's a transcendental feeling. It's a transcendental nourishing. You feeling, wow, I'm nourishing the Lord. This is a new feeling. Because we know what it is to nourish the body, right? There's a feeling there too, a taste. But it's material, it's to do with the material body. But now we've activated the spiritual body, even in this body. Now it's more of a temple for that. For reality, it's a temple. Now it's not the reality, the full reality. It's just a temple, a situation, a house for the Lord. See, we live in the Lord's house now. See, we're here to make the Lord happy, and that happiness is a feeling also, but it's a spirit feeling, spiritual. It's an eternal feeling. This goes with us. The other feelings with the body, satisfying the body, the material mind, that we leave that here when we die. This we take with us because our body, spiritual body, is activated now. Therefore, why wouldn't we take? We're living in the spiritual body. The spiritual body is living in us. Living in the body. You know that I'm that's more me. That's the real me. The real me is not the I, me, and mine of the material body. It's the I am a servant of Krishna eternally. See, that is my identification with my Lord and my life. My life and soul is the glorification of the Lord. See? It's a new ID, the real ID, the eternal ID. That's why Jesus said, you bind this on earth, you bind this in spirit. When you go, you take this with you. You've arrived. You got to do it here. Otherwise, you take your coverings with you, you die, and what do you got? Material mind, right? The material consciousness. You take that mundaneness with you. It's a covering. The false ego. You go and you in spirit, you're looking around. You know, where's my wife? Where's my grandma? Is my grandma here? Why do you think they appear? That's the Lord's help. You know, the demigods, they help you, you know, and you see different things. And if you're a real sinner and you know, then those who you tormented, those who you killed are there ready to, you know, there's retribution because it's a Moses thing, right? You haven't even, see, you demons, you don't even accept the Moses teaching. You go against that, the eye for an eye, therefore that's there for you. You know, this was the problem. That's why you demon, you can change. Otherwise, after this life, you know what's facing you. All those people you tormented, all those people you injected, Mr. Gates, all that stuff, they're waiting for you. Boy, God knows what you're going to be injected with. And then you have that some kind of covering. The Vedas describe it, where you feel all the pains and the sufferings and all of that stuff. See, that's the scriptures, man. I don't believe it. Yeah, go ahead there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I had a when I started chanting Shiva mantra, I had a glimpse of, you know, Yamadutas. I had a real glimpse of Yamadutas and the dogs and all of that. Mm-hmm. So it was a glimpse, and it was great on my path. And incidentally, it was when I was in the south of Sweden, the same time he was in the north. But you know, I wanted to share that verse. There's none so dear to Krishna as a preacher. I think it's the biggest high when you're going out and you're sharing people Chaitanya Lila, or it could be, you know, Bhagavad Gita, it could be about the modes of nature. Like when I sat next to this you know, young lady on this bus, 40 miles, she read the whole of Prabhupada's book with our links in. I put our links in, and we should have our own book soon. And I was just like amazed. I think it's just the biggest high to share somebody Chaitanya Lila and how they can be very, very easily free, and that it's a quick thing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give this in a second, like Prabhupada said, but people are so dumbed down. They're always just dumber and dumber, listening to the dumb. They just get dumbed down. So it's a great joy, privilege to share this. You've given us this opportunity to share with people in the world, and the confidence to do it. There's nothing better. There's nothing better. It's the biggest high. Giving somebody a book. And as I was sharing in my class today, you know, there was a leela of a devotee at the time of Prabhupada distributing the books, but they would get thrown in the bins. But there was a sweeper on the street who would collect them all up. So however we distribute these books, I sometimes think, oh, has that person got that book lying under the bed? Or they go out there, the message is going out there, and it's fantastic. It's just it's great.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Exciting.
It's
fun. It's exciting. Not to have a regulated life where you get up and work on a shop floor, an office, in a building site, or go to a warehouse. It's always the same mundane rubbish. You know, I noticed the people going to work on the buses are already talking about work before they get to work. When they come back on the buses, they're talking about work, and that's their lila. But I think it's a major thing that you're doing, and fully backed by Prabhupada. I used to always be amazed when you shared about it earlier, how Bhakti Siddhanta could talk on one verse for days and days and days. And you do that in classes. I'm like, yeah, because everything's related to Krishna, and it's so deep. There's no end to it. Every letter, every word, every sentence, it's all related to Krishna. Yeah, I love this.
The devotee, all devotees start to notice this. when you get into the spiritual potency, then the Lord makes all arrangements spontaneously. Like he's doing that in your life and other people's lives here that get connected with the spiritual potency. You get the results. It's right there in Nectar Devotion. When you engage in pure devotional service, you begin to get the results of economic development that people work hard to get. See, the result, because you're doing a new kind of work. See, you got to work, but now you're working not for fruitive activities, you're working for the Lord's transcendental message to deliver people. See, it's a work. See, you're engaged on the fifth goal of life, because there's a goal. Everybody's got to have a goal. So you get the results not only of economic development. These things you got to work on separately on all other paths except this. This is a Nectar Devotion. You can check this. And I noticed this because that's when I got the order of Prabhupada. And even before that, I was living like this. I was just naturally living on the mercy of the Lord. And I just noticed everything started just to fall in place automatically. It was uncanny how that happened. And I just saw that more and more. And then I got the order of Prabhupada and it continued. I just couldn't believe people would I'm doing the work, of the Lord, people coming, and getting inspired and they would support it. Just like you do some service for an employer, you get payment, and I noticed I got donate and like it's always been donation. I just said, well, you want to donate? Great. And it just, a lot of times don't even ask and just people just, oh yeah, here you go. Thank you very much. I'm finding benefit from this. And it's been like that. And then I look at people, it's so hard for them. And it's so hard. Why? Because they don't accept this path. Because look, Govinda, you've accepted this path and you're showing that things are coming, things are working, and you like it like that. See? You're living like the devotee. You're living on the gospel. You're living on giving the good news. Passing the hat. And it works. Why? Because we're working for the Lord's desires and we like it. And the Lord wants the Lord, there was a barber that he said, just do this service, cut my hair. Just do this service. I'm going to give you the potency and then your barbering business will be finished. And he got engaged in just going around. Oh, River's here. Okay. There you go, River. And welcome. Yeah. Yeah. And then your barbering business will be finished. And then you'll go just preaching my glories. And that's work. Somebody's got to do it. The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. So that's just how the Lord works. It could be that you go to a job. It just depends, whatever. Who knows? You'll be, whatever you do, it'll be right. You'll feel it. Here. Oh, yeah, it's right to do it this way. Otherwise, this is the people. If you understand what's going on here, your life will be fantastic. More fantastic. You'll see you get free of the threefold miseries. I mean, these are just perks. I don't do devotional service for that, really. It just happens. It comes along with the territory of just meeting with Krishna, coming to Sadhu Sangha, being with my friends. I'm becoming like Lalita says, wow, this is special. This is really different. This is not like ordinary families. This is eternal family. We're feeling it, experiencing it. Everything is getting easier. The hard things become easy. The easy things become easy. And everybody else, if they're not following the transcendental potency or in the transcendental vibe, like here, tough. The Vaides, tough, speculations, hard work, a lot of rules, a lot of regular in the Narayan Raj group working really hard, and all they got is etiquettes and the mode of goodness. We got all this transcendental food, transcendental happiness, transcendental ecstasy, transcendental expression, transcendental trans, with transgender in the perfect way, Yeah, you come here, yeah, go on. He's transgender, man. Yeah, go ahead. Radha and Krishna are manifesting it. Sometimes Krishna, sometimes Radha, man. Yeah, this is the perfection of transgender. You transgenders, come here. We'll show you how to do transgender perfectly. You know, in the perfect way where people won't be like thinking like, wow, what kind of weirdness is going on? That's all the reflection you're in. Come out of the reflection and become a real transgender man. Come and become a real lady boy. You come here, I'll teach you how to become a real lady boy. Man, lady boy. Right? Lady boy, go in there, become be a lady boy. Radha and Krishna be dancing in your heart. They'll see what the true lady boy means.
That's it. You just transcend the genders. You become in spirit, live in spirit, bliss. And
the genders are the reflection of the truth. See, this thing, there's people they're teaching now. Oh yeah, we'll make lady boys and see, the thing is, that's all the perverted reflection. The real lady boy is the boy, Krishna, the lady, Radha. See, that's perfect. That's it, man. That's the ultimate lady boy. When I look at that, it reminds me of Radha and Krishna. See, because that's the real truth. Lady boy. You got to be a lady boy. Otherwise, if you're just a boy, that's only half the truth. If you're just a lady, well, you won't be just a lady. You'll just be a lady in the mundane world, in the reflection, go into the beauty parlor, to attract mundane guys, to look at you, like that. See, you get Radha and Krishna's inside, and you realize, oh, the lady in you is attracted to the supreme male, the conclusive understanding of the absolute truth. See, that fires her up purely. Otherwise, it's all lust, if false ego, bewilderments. The women are really getting really bizarre, I don't know. They're really going off, man. They're all this looking at themselves. You see how they're really, really going like really out there. You know why? Because this is being encouraged at this time. Because of the Kali Yuga, it's being encouraged. Oh, yes. Wear the skimpiest things, make your little look and look at the power you get. This is their weapons. He said, look how strong and powerful you are. People, look how much power you have over the men. Doesn't that feel great? And they feel something, it's like, wow, I'm strong. Look at my big breasts. Wow, they're like weapons. Drop your weapons. See, this is what you get, but this is low grade, See, we show you the love of God. We show you the heart of the Lord, which is Radha, man. See, we attract the supreme man. See? And that love inside us, that devotion is attracted to the conclusive truth. That's why I preach it, even at great risk of this material body. Yeah, we preach it. Get more people, into the truth, man, so they can be happy forever. Become our friends. I like a big, we want a big, we want a big community. Commune, man. Huge. Make the whole world our commune, man. Even get Klaus Schwab in there, man. Maybe Bill Gates will come. We'll show them the new world order. We'll show you what the Lord's plan is. They'll give up their plans. They'll see, whoa, the God has a better plan than I did. Oh, mine was so much work, so much effort. Those guys are going to work, all the time. And their plans are so bad. Can you imagine they're full. Klaus, I gotta, and Bill, I'm sorry, man. I gotta break it to you. Your plans are not great. They don't satisfy everybody. They only satisfy yourselves. What kind of plan is that? I mean, come find out. We know the plan of the Lord. The plan of the Lord gives happiness to everybody, gives happiness to you and to the ones you want to control. You know, you don't have to. Those batteries are all dead that you're trying to get some juice from. So come, our Lord will charge up your battery and their batteries. He's got unlimited juice. These are already dead batteries. You're trying to suck whatever juice you can get out of them. That's why you need so many. You know, they kind of get control of everybody. It's not enough juice. Oh my God, it's such a fucking illusion. My Lord, unlimited. Just like you become like Brahma. Yes, you become like Brahma of the same family. You look at the Lord's name. And unlimited juice and energy and life and happiness and ecstasy. What more could you want? An inspiration? And then you look at these dead batteries, I just want to charge them, man. I got plenty of juice. What did you say what Jesus says? I have life and I can give it to you abundantly. Why not, man? Come here and get it. It's like Lalita, smart girl. She says, I just come here and I suck it all up. She's a very transcendentally lusty lady. That's why she's got this lusty look on her face. She always wants more Krishna, you know. Suck it up. Otherwise, you're going to suck it up in this world. Oh, man, you suck up all that poison, man, and die spiritually. Yeah. All right, time. I think, Lalita, you didn't do your class, did you yet? It's her turn. I've sucked up enough energy from Krishna now. Okay, thank you for coming. Had a big group, 22 people today. That's pretty good. Can you see how many people on your end? Can you see how many people? Does it show all of them?
I can't see it here. It's Sunday feeds Guru Maharaj.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it shows me here the 22 people. Yeah, that's good. Suck it up, people. Peeps. Okay, Hare Krishna, everybody. We'll see you soon. Oh, Fanny song. Little bit. Mm-hmm.
He would go out at sunrise, chanting, dancing to his name. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. He would wake up everyone, rise and rejoice to the name. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Mukunda Madhava, Govinda Hari, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all you have to do is take to the sweet chanting of his name. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Every day the sun will rise, and every day the sun will set. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. What's the value of your life if devotion you don't get? Hari Bol, Haribo. Take the name into your heart. Take it with you when you part. Haribo. Haribo. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all you have to do is take to the sweet chanting of his name. Haribo, Haribo, Yashamati Nandana, Brajapadana, Haribo, Haribo, Jehovah Adonai, Yahweh Jesus Christ, Haribo, Haribo, Rajajana Palana, Asura Kulana Shana, Haribo.